All right, Rebels, welcome to the beginning of something different. This is Podcasters Business Insider, the daily show where creators stop playing small and start building like business owners. Here, we don't chase downloads for vanity. We build systems, strategies, and shows that actually pay the bills. If you've ever felt stuck, recording into the void, wondering if your podcast will ever grow into more than just a hobby, this is where the guesswork ends because you're not just a podcaster, you're a founder, a strategist, a builder. And together, we're going to turn your mic into a media empire. So buckle up, pod rebels, because clarity beats chaos, strategy beats hustle, and momentum beats perfection. So let's get into it. You don't need Facebook ads. You don't need a Facebook ads budget to grow. Today, we're going to talk about 3 proven organic tactics and 2 big stories, as usual. Why raising endless VC rounds might backfire, and Amazon's AI lab says, sorry, let me rephrase that. Let that last part, because that last part was a little bit misrepresented. And what Amazon's AI lab says about the race to AGI. All right, so let's get into the two news articles. Article number 1, raising too much VC. Headline, TechCrunch reports that raising multiple rounds of venture capital might actually hurt startups. Why this matters? More money doesn't always equal more success, especially for indie creators and podcasters. Overfunding can kill focus and force unnatural growth. My take on this is something that I have been preaching to you guys about ever since I started these lives at the beginning of this month. It doesn't make a difference how much money you drop into your podcast. It's okay to start scrappy, just as long as you start. There's a really good book from a friend of mine where he talks about this. Chris Kremitzos. Let me just see if I can find his book. Kremitzos. Let me see if I can pull up his book, because his book is called Start Ugly. Highly recommend you read this book, because this is exactly how you start. You start ugly, you start scrappy, you start dirty, and then from there you just clean it off. You start putting better pieces together. Chris has nailed this right on the head. The only way that you can start in anything that you do is ugly, scrappy, dirty. It's just started and it's up. It's the best way to begin. What you need to do is just start, but not just start smart. What does that mean? You have to have a start that fits your current budget. Looking for venture capital funding will just make everything messier, and what you wanted to talk about, what your message will form to what your stakeholders want it to sound like, rather than what you needed it to sound like. This is why it's important to start with a small budget, $200-300 a month, maybe even less, We just increased our budget to another $45 a month just because this was a move in order for us to get more eyeballs and earballs on our stuff. And this was off of Podmatch. We bit the bullet this month. I know I said no more memberships or no more money coming out this month, but Podmatch was an important investment in order for this podcast to grow. And I only signed up as a guest. I didn't sign up as a host. Not yet. The host part is coming. Right now, I'm just trying to get this message out there to other podcasters or want to be podcasters, or IT people who want to be a podcaster. That's technically who I'm going for. So remember, start ugly, start scrappy, start dirty. Podcasters who lean big and focus on sustainability often outlast those chasing flashy growth. That should really, really drive into what you need to do, what you need to focus on when you're starting off at podcasting. So don't worry about the big bucks. Don't worry about the flashy cameras. I'm still using the camera that I had from when I first started podcasting in 2021. Still same $20 webcam. Does the job. My background settings have changed a little bit. Actually, it's changed a lot, but everything has basically stayed the same. A few minor tweaks. Article number 2, Amazon's new AI lab. The Verge interviews David Luan on Amazon's AGI-focused Adept AI lab. Why this matters? Big tech is doubling down on AI research, which will directly shape the tools of podcasters and creators' use. My take on this. Don't fear AI. Just lean into it. The winners will be those who learn how to adopt new tools early without losing their unique voice. I actually just recently had a conversation with another person. AI is great. AI, even he used AI to land a job. AI is the way that you're going to be creating content. At the speed of AI, you can shave off 15 hours of work. Hands down. 15 hours of work. No, not even question about it. A week per week. I have taken my podcasting production from 40 hours a week when I first started podcasting to in and around 10 hours a week. In and around there. I couldn't have done it without AI's help. Coming up with transcriptions, coming up with content, writing, blog posts, social media posts. I haven't done any of that yet because there has been no time, but all the social media stuff is going to be done through AI. I can't sit through hours and hours and hours and hundreds of hours of podcasts and live streams and type every word that comes out of everybody's. I can't do that. It doesn't take it. It doesn't work that way. We take the audio, dump it into Otter AI or Descript, and it plop comes out with the content for you. Does it all for you. Matter of minutes. And within 5 minutes, you have your blog posts, you have your social media descriptions, you have everything. And now that Amazon is doubling down on this, we'll see where this goes. I'm a huge fan of AI. Do I fear AI? I have some reservation on AI. I do. That's just the sci-fi in me. It's just, you know, can it turn on us? Possibly. That's just the sci-fi in me. You're talking to a huge sci-fi geek here. So, main lesson is lean into the AI now and see what you can come up with, because it is one of the most useful tools that you can utilize in anything that you do. There's nothing wrong with leaning into it. So let's get into the main theme for today. 3 ways to grow without ads, even in 2025. You don't need a Facebook ads budget to grow. Organic growth is strategic consistency, not randomness, to a point. You will get here to a point. However, in order to grow further, you will need to drop some bucks into advertisements. But what you need to understand is that you need to be in the places where your avatar lives, for the reason that your podcast is here. Another conversation that I had with this person was why. What is your why? Why are you doing this podcast? Why do you want to be in podcasting? That why will stick with you for the lifespan of your podcast, and even past the lifespan. The Fitness Oracle is living proof of it. Why the Fitness Oracle failed was because I wasn't there where my avatar lived. So when I had a few bucks coming in and I saw my very first paycheck right at the end of the Fitness Oracle, I got a $90 paycheck, 90 bucks. I should have taken that 90 bucks and dumped it into AdSense where my avatar lived, so I can find more Georges rather than just what I have currently had and dumped it into business cards, which still have like 250 business cards, and I have nowhere to give, or 750 business cards and no one to give them to, because the podcast doesn't exist anymore. But if you have $0, you can still grow your podcast. And here's how you do it. Tactic number 1, the strategic podcast collaboration. Appear on other podcasts with shared audiences. Example, Stephanie Pellet, Pro Foundry. She grew her podcast using guest swaps and co-promotions. This leverages trust transfer and built-in audiences. Tactic number 2, forum and community-based growth. Share episodes in Reddit, Discord, Slack, or Facebook groups with care. Example, Indie Hackers podcast grew through community AMAs and weekly threads. Don't just drop links. Start conversations, recap insights, and then share. This is critical. You don't go into somebody's community and just start dropping links. If you come into my community and you start doing that, I'll kick you out. Now this is just spam. Don't do that. Create your relationship with the people in there. What you'll find, what actually happened with me once, was that I created a relationship with the owners of a Facebook group. I invited them to my podcast and they invited me to my podcast. We both shared it in both of our communities. Why? I was helping their customers, their Facebook group members, with tips and tricks that helped me and my past clients. So there was value for them. And they reached out to me, say, "Hey, thank you for reaching out. Would you mind coming on to our podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'd love it." I'm like, "Would you like to come onto my podcast? And we'll do like a swap. I'll post my interview with you in my group, and you can post yours in my group, and you can post my interview in your group." And and I asked them, "Would it be okay if I could share that interview that I did with you into my group?" And they're like, "Sure. Why don't you do the same thing for us?" This is what comes out of something like this, and it leads into tactic number one, where the collaboration happens. So now they're exposed to my community, and I'm exposed to their community, as we're both now thought leaders, professionals in what we're talking about. Tactic number three, SEO driven show notes and lead magnets. Optimize episode titles and create blog style show notes. Pair this with a freebie to drive email signups. Here's an example. Unemployable with Brian Clark ranks for long tail topics like how to productize your expertise. How to productize your expertise, and goes to a newsletter, Growth Without Ads. There's a lot of other tactics that you can take with this. The reason why we added an extra $45 to our monthly budget was because we wanted to get out to other podcasts. This is a bonus. Get onto Podmatch. Put yourself on Podmatch. Pay, bite the bullet and pay. You will be exposed. Podmatch is like a dating site for podcasters and guests. If you're a podcaster, you will never be without a guest. If you're a guest, you can technically never be without a podcast to go on to. I've been on Podmatch for a mere 10 hours now. I got two emails to come onto two people's shows, and I have 3 matches that I want to reach out to. 5 potential podcasts that I have access to. I've been on there for 10 hours. So once I'm done here, I'm going to respond to these 2 emails. I'm going to match myself with these 2 emails, and I'm going to reach out to the people who I'm matched up with. So yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it because now I'm getting exposed to their audience. And I have the opportunity now to not only sell to their audience, but also more importantly, I have the opportunity to give them advice in how to better themselves without the fluff. So 3 things that I want you guys to do today, this week, actually. Schedule 1 guest collab or cross promotion outreach. Join 1 niche community, post value and a related topic and a related episode. But remember, the related episode only comes after you create the relationship, not before. Don't go into somebody's house and start painting the walls the way that you want them to be painted. Don't do that. Build yourself as a topic expert in something. If it's how to basket weave with cat hair, Just an example. Then be that expert in that community and tell people this is how you do it and this is how it can save whatever and this is what it can do and this is how it benefits everything. And if somebody asks and you have a specific episode that answers that question, drop it in there. But first, build that relationship. That relationship can be, I don't know, if I were to put a date on it, few weeks, maybe a month or so of you consistently giving value to that group. If you just go in the first day and start dropping in episodes, hey, I got this great episode recorded with this person, take a listen, and you do that constantly, you're going to get kicked out. You're going to get banned and kicked out, because I would do the same thing. Now this has just become spam. So you need to be careful, because number 2 can work great and it can lead to number 1. So but the warning is just be careful how you do it. That's number 2. Number 3, add a lead magnet CTA to your next episode and link it in the show notes. Your lead magnet has to be relative to your business. Give them free stuff. I built yesterday a free 3-day program, and today I was supposed to build the 5-day program that leads to from the 3-day and leads to the 7-day program. Haven't done that yet. It's just been one of those weird, messed up, crazy days. I'm not even going to get into it. Have the customer or the listener go through a journey into what to expect from you. Remember we talked, have that big high-end ticket, high-value ticket, that high-value ticket product that you want to sell for like $10,000. Well, you're not going to sell them $10,000 right off the bat. From that huge, massive, giant price tag, start building smaller programs until you get to a couple, I'd say 5 to 7 freebies that you can just put out there or just have and say, oh, this person needed the checklist on this. I got that. Here, take this free checklist. That free checklist sends them to another free product and another free product, and then a low-end product, and then a mid-range product, and then eventually your high-end product. Now, the free stuff you're going to have a lot of people, and you're going to slowly trim down those people to 1, maybe 2. But imagine now you have 2 people paying you $10,000, and you have that every single month. That's an extra $20,000 in your bank account. You've done what? You've set up your programs. Most of them run by themselves, except for the mid-level and the high end. But all the other ones, they run by themselves. You're making money while you sleep. I'm not saying you're going to create it, you build it, and they will come. There's a lot of work that goes behind it for them to come, but eventually it will come. I'm talking about long term. I'm not talking about short term. Your high-end ticket is your long term, 5 years, 7 years. Your short term, free low end, and maybe mid-range. Maybe if you get extremely lucky, or you're a master marketer, or you have thousands of people in your email list, tens of thousands of people in your email list, and you still get lucky, you might get a couple people in the mid-range. but you need to be able to give them a huge amount of value in your free stuff. Say, wow, I can only imagine what the $10,000 program is going to be like. Okay, so have those three. And number 4, your bonus, sign up to Podmatch, set up your account properly, and watch just watch it. It's something else. Like I'm not surprised, because I remember with the Fitness Oracle, I was never out of a guest. I always had a guest on the show, and that's because of Podmatch. But the guesting is quite impressed. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm surprised, but it is what it is. I hate using that idiom. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. So, if you want deeper strategies like this, plus exclusive growth playbooks, sign up for the Rebel Intel newsletter. Every week we deliver insights straight to your inbox. Pardon me. Every other week we deliver insights straight to your inbox so you can stop guessing and start growing. Just another mention, keep an eye out for my upcoming ebook, Mike to Millions, the 7-Day Podcast Blueprint. It's designed to take you from launch to revenue in just 1 week. I have to rewrite that. It's going to take you from launch to set up for revenue in just 1 week. Tomorrow, we close out this week with a field report on a show that tripled their audience using nothing but loops, repurposing, and smart positioning. So stay tuned for that. You guys have an awesome night. I do apologize for starting a little bit late. It has been a day. But Thursdays are always going to be a late start because of this networking event that I signed up for. So stay tuned for tomorrow, 7 p.m. right here on YouTube. You guys have an awesome day.